Luckily, it's like a 3-minute drive from my house, so it's like...
Bro, that is not need to go understated. I got tore up on your podcast the other week, dude.
Literally, like, when we ended it, he's like, all right, I'm drunk. Can we end this?
Yeah, we got to a point where I was going to start saying some stuff that I didn't want on the record, and I was just like, I was having a good time, but I was like, oh, shit, I'm drunk. Because we took a shot of whiskey before it started, then I was sipping on the whiskey and the beer while it was going, like... No.
We ain't have no food.
No, we had zero food. Yeah, what the fuck kind of host were you, man? Where was my bread?
It's called the drink meet, guy.
Yeah. But dude, I loved it. That was a lot of fun. That's the most fun I've had on a podcast in a long time. Even my podcast, that was a lot of fun.
We went off the rails. We were talking about some stupid shit.
Yeah, we were talking like Area 51, which is still a thing. We're talking about all kinds of craziness.
Would you bang an alien?
Yeah, we did say that, right? Yeah, we were talking about like where would you put it and shit. Like,
if anatomically correct, if it was anatomically, biologically a whole, would you fuck it?
You said you would.
I would. Why not?
But I feel like an alien vagina wouldn't be where you think it is. No. That shit's gonna be like in its rib cage or some shit.
Well, yeah, but if
it's a hole. They're like, what if it's like we smash the female aliens by rubbing their rod against other rods? It's like, what?
Yeah, and it's like this thing, like,
yeah, right.
That's how, yeah.
You're like, oh,
that's tough,
right? That'd be some weird reproduction, dude. That was sick. When's that podcast coming out?
We want to say in about 3 weeks. No, 2 weeks.
Awesome. Yeah. So, guys, what's up? Welcome back to That's the Angle. I am joined with Pierre of StreetMeetDC. And I was on his podcast called Drink Meet.
Drink Meet podcast.
And people can listen to that now, right? They could go like look it up if they want to.
Yeah, we are on Spotify, SoundCloud. We just got approval on Apple.
Nice.
On iTunes or whatever that is.
Yeah.
And and that's where you can find us. You can find us on Instagram as well at streetmeetdc.com.
Oh, damn, we're just getting all the plugs now. I was just plugging the podcast.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
but it was sick. Yeah, definitely check out because it was a lot of fun. I can imagine everyone else probably has a lot of fun on that show, too. God damn, we went hard. Played some Nazi zombies and shit. Actually, I'm glad we had the interview because, like, we didn't talk about like anything hardly photography, which was like really nice.
Right.
Like I don't want to sit around and talk photography.
But the thing is, like, we talk to photographers.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But every once in a while we talk about photography, and the conversation always comes up as like, who's a Nikon shooter? That's like always a hard person to find. That somebody that shoots Nikon.
Yeah, right. Like, it's like who's cheap out here? Who's fucking poor? I'm still gonna bag on Nikon shooters. I don't care. Dude.
Yeah, no. Every Nikon shooter I've ever known has always been some middle-aged guy that just has one because he wants to take pictures of bees or some shit or flowers.
Dude, speaking of photography, have you been following the whole Marcus Hyde thing?
Marcus Hyde, is that the guy that wanted to get some nudes from yeah.
What do you think about that?
Dude, there's predatory photographers no matter what. I mean, predatory photographers have been around for the longest time, forever. I mean, it's just because you, as a photographer, you have, I don't want to say like a power, but you have like some sort of influence into trying to convince somebody to do something that they normally wouldn't. Meaning like modeling, like, oh, hey, do this thing. Can you do this? Oh, that shit hurts. I can't fucking bend that way.
I mean, like how many other things can you do out there that make hot girls hang out with you?
Right. Well, yeah, there's that.
Like how many things could you have no money?
There's a caveat right there.
Right?
Yeah.
Like how many things could you have money and have a hot girl get half naked?
Right.
Like if you really wanted to, like,
because otherwise it'd be creepy. And because then it's like, all right, well, can you just get half naked so I can see you and take pictures with my phone? Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. But as a photographer, it's like a weird thing. Some people are, like I said, they're predatory. They know what they got, and they know that people want what they got, and they are able to influence people to you know. And him doing that with that one chick, because I know that I seen the screen grab where he got
screenshot real hard.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and like he was asking for $2,000, but if she was willing to do nudes, it would be free.
So I've got a hot take on this, and for everyone listening, I'm just going to tell you the story, right? Mm-hmm. So Kim Kardashian's photographer, aka Marcus Hyde, also shoots with like all the stars, Ariana Grande, and all that stuff. He was recently exposed by a model, or exposed, or Me Too, or whatever you want to call it.
That shit went viral quick.
It went viral super fast because it's something that's always kind of been there, but we haven't had any celebrity cases of it, right?
Yeah, celebrity photographer, because now that the term is celebrity photographer. That's the term. That's what they've labeled him as. And I was like, okay,
well,
that's the thing.
He is. Right. If you're hanging out with Kim and Kanye, you're a goddamn celebrity photographer. Right. You are a celebrity in your own right because of that.
Right.
But I digress. So I am actually quite skeptical of it. And here's my reasons. Because so the story is that he was DMing it. He posted on his Instagram story that he wants to shoot.
Right.
And then underneath that text was a photo of a girl naked, like standing in a shower. So clearly he wants to shoot.
Oh, yeah, I saw that picture too.
He wants to shoot something naked.
Right. That was implied.
Yeah, it's implied. Like, hey, I want to do something nude. So the girl replies and she goes, hey, I'm interested, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, I'll do lingerie and partial nude, but I don't want to do nude. And he said, okay, well, then that's $2,000. Like, damn, that's quite the rate, right? But he's like, all right, that's $2,000.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I see where you're going.
No, yeah. But see where I'm, yes, watch. So, and so then she goes, okay, but then she eventually, if you read the messages, she goes, okay, I'll do nude. You know, that's fine. And he goes, awesome. He's like, can you send me a photo of yourself and of yourself naked? She goes, what? He goes, yeah, can you send me a photo of yourself? I need to see what I'm getting myself into.
Right.
And at that point, that seemed a little predatory. It seems a little creepy. Why would you ask for a nude from a girl who is going to be modeling from you?
That's true.
But you need to look at it from the perspective of someone who is an erotic or a nude photographer. Where the subject is a naked girl's body, and he does need to know what it looks like before he gets into it. Because if she shows up and she's got C-section scars, or if she shows up and she doesn't look like what she looked like on her Instagram, or if she shows up and she's got ugly ass titties or something like that, it sounds terrible, I know, but like. These are extents to which nude photographers take measures to. And so I think in his world, it's normal for him to say these things. Because like if a gay guy asked for that, how big of a deal would it have been then, right? But it may have been a little different. But also I want to use the reference of Helmut Newton. Helmut Newton, whatever, famous nude photographer. Everyone should know who he is. There's a documentary I've watched on him, and he literally has girls come into castings, and he's like, "All right, get naked. Let me see what you look like."
Because they already know what's up.
They already know what's up, and so my idea was like, how did she not know what was up? Like you're asking, like he literally has a photo that I want to shoot nude, and you're saying you only want to do partial nude, but he's like, "All right, I want to see what I'm getting into." Like from that perspective, I think he's fine, but I think to the perspective of the outside world, they don't understand.
I could see that because, like I said, I immediately jumped to the predatory photographer thing.
I did too at first.
Yeah, because it's true. I mean, people do that. People do that where they...
Well, I lied. I didn't at first. Sorry. I didn't. But they did do it.
What's that?
People do that, would you say?
Yeah, no, yeah. People do that. They, as photographers, they try to pretend like there's some, like, famous... Or, like, they try to get these girls naked just to take pictures of them and then try to bang them. That's usually the case.
Yeah.
But then again, like this guy, he's obviously super famous,
His clout levels up to his eyeballs.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like you said, like if she knew what this guy was doing, or what his style usually is, then I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird gray area.
It's kind of weird because she replied to it. This fucking chair. Jesus, I'm like stuck.
Yeah, you're like trying to move it.
Like, God damn it. But like no, it's funny that she replied to it. But then what was crazy is that like I honestly think she was trying to expose it and get in clout munch because
people jumped on it quick
because she screenshotted it and posted it on her story. And at the time, she only had like...
With no context.
With no context.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I guess she later released the screen images, but she...
By then, the damage is already done.
By then, it's done. Everyone's jumping on the gravy train.
Yeah,
Diet Prada picked it up, aka the biggest blog you don't ever want picking up bad news about you.
Was that a Baller Alert or Shade Room?
Shit like that, yeah. Same thing. They expose people in the fashion industry. So he's getting exposed. Girls are coming out the closet, me tooing him and everything. But and I don't condone any other actions or any of the stories that have come out about him and stuff he's done since then. Yeah. Has he done creepy shit? Well, some of those stories sound pretty creepy. But in this incident, I'm like, it sounds like she was clout munching a little bit. Like
no, but the thing is, so maybe this particular situation is a little weird. It's a little gray.
Yeah.
But it does at least start the conversation of like, okay, what's a predatory photographer? Because in my circles, models are always saying like, these photographers, all they want to do is try to, as soon as they try to get you half naked, they trying to hit on you and everything like that. And it ruins the whole entire shoot because then it's like, what am I really doing here? I'm not really here as an artist that you see me as an artist. You see me as a piece of meat that you're trying to bang at the end of the shoot. So what's the point here? You know what I mean? And I think a lot of what happened was with that, like people, as soon as they saw that, because even when I saw it, I was like, "Yo, holy shit, this guy's really trying to just get
a prevalent issue in our community."
Exactly. And I think that's why it turned into such a big thing because, like, especially with models, like I'm sure they got all kinds of DMs in their Instagram where these guys are just trying to get them nude just because. Not for the art, not because they're a nude photographer or a boudoir photographer or anything like that. They just want to get them nude and try to hit on them.
I think also in a situation like this is like, he's got a lot to lose.
He's got a shit ton to lose.
He can throw his fame around, his celebrity around to get these things from women if he wanted to, right? And so that's a lot of what it easily looks like, right?
Right.
But my thing is that I also hate to see, you know, someone like himself, all his like lifetime's work, all of a sudden just get put to shit because of something like this.
Right.
Like
something that could have with better context could have been avoided. I guess.
Like if I get that now, like in our time, coming out and fuck the guy and do all that stuff. Like I get it. Sure, he's predatory and stuff, but I just would hate to see someone's like life work and life dedication be completely shit on because of something like this.
Yeah, I mean, and it's tough because it could. In either way, I mean, it's still like the conversation was very short. In between two of them, the both of them, he said, send nudes, basically, like nothing with no context on his end either. He just said, just send nudes, and then we'll. If he would just say, look, I just want to see.
Well, there was some context, but he did ask for nudes, essentially.
Right,
yeah,
exactly. And like if he were to say something along the lines of like, all right, well, can you just send me like a nude portfolio so I can see what you look like so we know?
Yeah, that's a better way to handle it.
Because then he just said nudes. I think I want to say he just said nudes.
Well, he didn't say send nudes. He actually said like, you know, but essentially he was like, can you send photos of you naked? I want to see what I'm getting into.
Yeah, and I feel like he would know better. You know, because considering all the professional, you would think he's super professional considering the people he works with.
His status, right?
So and that's again, like he could have just as easily been trying to, and again, like it got blown into this whole thing where he's looking in a negative light. But just the way he handled it was not the right way to go about it.
Well, also, things get sketchy when you handle them through the DMs. You know, like you're not sure if it's professional or not.
Yeah.
And then it's like, in the real world, she should have maybe had a portfolio, or maybe he should have had like a casting person, you know, have these girls come in and
or
see
he could have
stuff.
just said, look, I'm just to make it clear because I would feel some kind of way, or just to protect myself, because especially because of what happened, just to protect myself, I would have said, all right, look. If she were to reply or said something like, "Hey, oh yeah, let's work, let's shoot or whatever," I would be the first to say, "All right, well, what I want to do requires nude photography. If that's something you're comfortable with, then let's go forward."
Clarifying and stuff like that
off the break. And then like when that whole interaction was just fucked up. It was just like it was just not. It didn't work. And either like they weren't getting each other.
I think both parties didn't handle it right.
Right.
Like, I think he's maybe so laissez-faire because you think he's got women throwing himself.
Oh yeah,
at him,
I'm
right?
sure. Dude, I'm sure. Any girl wants to be photographed by the guy that photographs Kim Kardashian.
My guy, if you were in a photo with Kim Kardashian, you're getting laid.
Yeah.
If you were in a photo sitting next to Kanye or Kim Kardashian, you fucking made it, dog. Like you're getting a brand deal from someone. Like And so like you assume more from people. And so like I don't know, it's just an interesting case where I think it's easy to
It was easy.
Look at,
the whole situation was easy to blow up and easy to turn into something that, you know, it's career ruining because he just didn't handle it the right way. Neither did she. Yeah.
Well, you know, like Mario Testino. You know, I'm going to harp on this subject for a long time, but like we're going to get into streaming and stuff. But like Mario Testino, one of the greatest fashion photographers alive right now. Like near the end of last year, it came out that he's gay, but so he was being creepy towards all the male models, like trying to like get them naked, like privately and all this stuff like that. And like huge publications were like, we're never working with Mario Testino again. And I'm like, how can you just devalue his whole life's work now? Like his books are amazing. And just because he's a pervert in his private life, like it's just terrible because of the context that he's around beautiful people.
No, I'm all for being a pervert in your private life, but if you're being a pervert towards somebody that
he was sexually assaulting people, I guess. Yeah,
then that's different. You know, then that's like a different kind of pervert. That's
I just
like
hate to see someone's work get messed up. That's my thing. Is I would hate to see someone's work get devalued all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, but that happens though. I mean, that's kind of what climbing the ladder is. You know, the higher you go, the easier it is the easier it is to fall, and it's the longer the fall.
And people want to make you fall. Man.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's
why you got to protect yourself at all times,
bro. This girl's about to get the craziest, fattest brain deals.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna be on Ellen.
She went from 9K to 25K in 2 days.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've been monitoring the story. I'm like, she knows what she's doing. Dog.
Well, no, that's funny you say that because now they're getting rid of the likes. Now they're getting rid of like the whole like system on Instagram. So
you think a lot of people coming? They've been testing it in Canada.
They just did it in Australia.
I honestly, I'm all for that.
I am too. Just because good photography is good photography. Doesn't matter how many likes you get on the motherfucker.
I think it encourages comments, and I think what they're going to do is instead of the like, you can't do it.
Yeah, it's going to be the engagement in the comments.
I think it's going to be better for everyone, like in influencers overall, because you can still see follower numbers, but if you can see the comment response, now you're more likely to leave something in the comments than a like, which I think means more.
Right.
At least to me, at least.
I agree. Only because that the fact that you got somebody to move their fingers on their phone to type something out, that means that you either really inspired them to say that, or they're really trying to just be on your bandwagon and say, oh, look, here's my name, my comment to do. So it could go. There's still people are gonna find ways to abuse the system, no matter what they do. Like whatever Instagram does, people are gonna find a way.
Influencers are gonna figure out the next hack for the next comment system.
Yeah,
I mean, speaking of followers and shit, like the Street Meet Instagram, y'all, that's blown up, dude.
Yeah,
y'all are 25K. I mean, I remember following you guys.
Oh no, we're not at 20. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, you are, dude.
Are not at 25, dude.
I'm pretty sure you are.
15, dude.
Oh,
I can tell you that right now. Oh,
come on, man. Just let me stretch the numbers a little bit. Come on, dude. Fuck.
No, man.
I thought it was 25.
No, close though. We are at 15.
All right. Regardless, 22. You've passed 10K.
Yes, and that's the biggest threshold that we wanted to pass.
You've reached the 1% of society with social media. You're not, in like movies where there's like the elves and ogres. Y'all are in the highlands now. Y'all are in the good life. But you wouldn't get there unless like you actually had genuine people who believed in what it is.
I mean, people have been supporting us from when we started 4 years ago.
Can you explain what it is for people listening who might not know what or who?
That's right. So StreetMeetDC, we are. I want to say like the first. Before, like I know, like IGDC used to do like meetups, but they used to do like the worldwide Insta meetups, which were pretty rare, like once or twice a year, or maybe like 3 times a year. But then I couldn't really relate to them. That wasn't my thing. It wasn't my scene. It was whatever. So then I started StreetMeetDC with Aaron because I was on Craigslist, I was on Meetup.com, I was on like all kinds of I even found this weird website called Genius Creatives.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, but it was like a weird forum, and I was trying to find like any DC photographer, and I went on Craigslist too because I was really, really trying to find another photographer to go out and shoot with, and that's when I found Aaron through Craigslist because he was in the same boat that I was. I was like, and again, like we could relate to each other because we I guess we kind of listen to the same music and stuff like that. If I'm sure that explains some of it, but we linked up, and then. I told him, I was like, why don't we start this thing like street meet, like we meet in the street, and street meet DC, and we just meet once a month. So because my goal was to become friends with people, like other creatives. That was like because I didn't have any growing up.
It's hard to meet other photographers or the creatives because everyone's so busy.
They aren't fucking assholes.
They're so busy in their own own worlds, you know.
That's the hardest part, like meeting other creatives that don't have their egos up their ass. You know what I mean? That's the hard part. But yeah, I mean, we started doing that, and then we started meeting once a month, and then like our first meet we had 8 people, and then the second meet we had like 25 to 30 people or something like that, and then it just kept growing and growing and growing, and then like we started becoming really good friends, like all of us, and we started like getting to know each other and started hanging out. And that was my main goal. That's all I really ever wanted, was to become friends with other photographers, to learn and get better at it. And then we started getting models at our thing. That kind of changed the dynamic a little bit. Now that we have like muses and subjects that we can go out and take pictures of. And stuff.
Like it was like a street photography meetup.
Strictly street photography. Like literally, the goal is just walk around and take pictures. That's literally it. That's like it's street so photography. Simple, right? Yeah, it's really fucking simple. Like it's. At our core, if we still that's what we still try to do. We don't try to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. We just try to make sure that we bring all the people together. And like if you go to our meets, it's very. I don't know how to say it without stepping on any toes, but it's very hip hop based. It's the best way I could put it. So we don't. You can. I'm sure based off of that, you can imagine the crowd that comes to our meets, because I don't want to.
read between the lines.
Yeah,
people.
read between the lines.
But that's also DC. Like DC is mostly African American people.
Exactly.
Like I mean, that's just what it is. Like
it is.
Yeah, and thinking back to my experiences, yeah, that's just what it is. Not that I ever noticed it, but you know, it is what it is. But like I feel like what you're doing is like it's cool because it's so necessary. Like, it's an outlet for people.
It really is. No, I can't tell you how many times people come up to me like, I can't believe this thing exists. I'm like, something, and I'm like, I don't either, man. Like I started it and I still can't believe it turned into such a big movement that other people are doing the same thing that we're doing now. You know what I mean?
How many years now? Like 2 years?
No, it's been 4.
4 years? Holy shit. I jumped. Wow. Okay.
Wow, we've been at it. We've been at it since March of 2015. No, 2015. Yeah, 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been at it for a while, man.
Shit. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I only thought I was like, wow. Yeah. You've been on the grind. Like.
Yeah. I mean, like, honest, and the thing is, like, too, we kind of created the formula of doing the monthly thing that other people have started using too, which is great because now there's like different flavors of photography.
What do you mean the formula? Like you pick a spot and time and day to meet up, kind of thing,
right? And on a monthly consistent basis without fail. Like we've only canceled one meet in our whole entire whatever you call it trajectory. Rain. It was raining pretty bad, and the last thing I wanted somebody to be like, "Well, I came to your meet and my camera got fucked up. Can you pay for it?" No, man, I'm fucking broke, just like you are, man. Yeah. We're not making any fucking money, man.
No, I feel that.
So yeah, I mean, it's everything, and the thing about it too is like it's free. Like that's the best part.
That's what's also really cool about it.
It's everything. All of our regular meets are gonna be free no matter what. We always do them once a month and we do them near metro stations because we know a lot of artists don't have cars. They can't exactly just get to where they need to go. So we make it accessible for anybody of any skill set, of any background. We don't care. Just come out, take pictures, or hang out. Some people really just come hang out.
Yeah, like if I came now, I'm not gonna get any Instagram pictures, but I'm just gonna come hang out, maybe take some photos, and just have a good time, and just see who's in this creative landscape, you know. And it's so funny because we talked quickly about it on your podcast, but I always assumed that there were tons of other meetups, but I guess there's not. Like I always thought that it was there's a bunch of different meetups now, which they're doing really well. They're doing something different than what we are, which is what I like the most. Like 202 Film Collective, they are a film photography meetup. There's Femme Photo Bombers, female only creative meetup, which I think is pretty cool. How dare they discriminate by gender? I can't help it.
It's a little sexist. I want to go too.
Sexist.
But still, and they're black as hell too. And that's what I love about it too. It's
that's
like,
just DC.
Yeah, I know.
Chocolate City, baby.
Yep. So and then like there's another group. I can't remember their name now.
But it seems like they've just been popping up more. Like the more you sort of like. People see, oh, these are cool, and they start to be successful.
Right.
Maybe we could do something off of it. But what's really interesting is that I imagine that you could monetize it now. Like there's something
we're trying. We still haven't cracked that yet. We still haven't figured it out. Not that we really care to, but at this point, our main focus is basically because now we've got Street Meet LA, we've got Street Meet Washington, we've got Street Meet ABQ, but for some reason, they named themselves ABQ Street Meet. Now there's just Street Meet Arizona again, AZ Street Meet for some reason, which hopefully we can talk with them later to kind of because what I want. Another thing that one of the first goals or one of the big dreams that I've always had is to create a network of cities where because every time I've traveled, I've always wondered like, okay, where the fuck can I go to take pictures?
That's so true.
You know what I mean? And like
the spots
and then like instead of going through like TripAdvisor and going to all the touristy bullshit areas, like I want to go because when you go, if you're a photographer and you've wanted to and you're traveling somewhere, you look through the hashtags to see what's cool, how you can find them, but you don't know how to find them. Like it's hard to find them. So that's one of the reasons why I'm glad that other cities are taking the initiative to do it, because if I want to travel to LA, I can just hit up Street Meet LA and say, hey, look. I'm going to be out there, such and such date. You got anybody that can, I can link up with and we can just walk around and take pictures or whatever, because they're of the same belief, of the same mindset of us, where it's like, okay, there's no ego here. We're just really trying to just create together.
Well, it's cool because it's like people can find like-minded people doing something similar and connect with, which with photographers especially, it's we're all in our own little like caves all across everywhere. So it's just so sick to see it all come together. And like,
and it's coming together. Like it really is. Like we're working on some very big stuff to really kind of bring the whole national, bring a national network together of street meets.
Yeah, and plus it makes sense that if you made a little bit of money, you can put on a better event for people.
Right.
You know?
And again, the regular meets will always be free, but we are trying to consider what if people are receptive to doing something more like a workshop kind of thing where
100%.
It's
100%.
And one of the ideas that I had was like to create I don't know, like a fake party or something, and
do photograph it,
do how to do like borderline like event photography, but for like a house party kind of thing. I mean, it'll still be a party either way, but you pay to come to the party, but people are there. The people that come there are going to be models that are obviously dressed up or dressed really cool or whatever, because that's what you need to have, to get some really good pictures or whatever. And I don't know. It's a bunch of weird ideas that I got going on that I'm just trying to figure out how we can monetize.
I would be so into if you had like more prominent photographers come in and give workshops.
Oh, dude.
Monetize
Man, we've tried.
That'd be wicked.
We've tried. But some people just don't get it still, man.
What do you mean they don't get it?
Some people just don't get why we just walk around and take pictures. Like,
oh no, I meant like in a setting where like you rent a room somewhere.
Oh yeah, and get
like it's like a workshop. Like they sit down, and people pay to sign for the workshop,
right?
And then we learn from this guy who is killing it,
or girl,
whatever, who's killing it. Like I wish there was more of that around here. I feel like in LA and New York it's always happening. But around here, I'm like, man, there's not much like education I can go to.
No, that's true. But not a lot of people like coming to DC as they don't see DC as a creative hub, which is something that we've been trying to kind of get rid of.
Which is why what you're doing is so important.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's necessary. Like it absolutely is. Like we hung out with the guys from Street Dreams Mag. You know them?
I don't, but no.
Yeah, I mean they were like one of the few people that kind of like. Well, at the time when street photography was really still.
You good over there? Yeah. Tell your hoes to calm down, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. But in either case, like they came over from New York, and New York is New York. You know what I mean?
It's New York.
So they came. They did a collaboration with Honda, and we got plugged into that too, like as a group. And like we met like Black Soap, Steve Sweatpants, visuals by Pierre, like and Costin. You know Costin? No. They're like at the time they were like they still are pretty big photographers of New York.
Nice.
And they were surprised. Like they were legit surprised that we showed up with that many people to their event.
That's
because
cool.
They were like, how? What you guys? This is you guys? Like, yeah, this is all DC, DMV area. So, this is wild. And I was like, yeah, this is what we're doing out here, man.
Oh, so you brought people from DC to the New York thing?
No. They came from New York to MGM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They had like a Honda thing, They had their new Civic that had just come out, their new generation Civic.
Hell yeah, that's good, man. Let them know that there's like strength out here, that people like there's something to do.
And they were
that's
surprised,
not getting fucked up on the weekends.
And people just get surprised every time they find out that there's that many. Like every month we cycle through so many fucking people. Like I'm always surprised that we haven't like hit that moment where like we've already touched everybody here. Every creative out here, like. We get so many new people every month. And I'm just like, damn, there's really that many creatives out here. It's wild.
Yeah. I would have that same thought if I was in your position. Like, oh, haven't we exhausted everyone?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But it's funny because I've only been to like 2 or 3 of them, yet almost a year, 2 years later, here I am still like touched by what you guys do enough to like want to talk to you and get to know you guys. Like,
well, thank you.
Yeah, like it is right. Like I had that good of an experience. It was cool. It was wicked, man. Like. And it's something that creative community needs to sort of link up and collaborate, because there's people that I've met at those things that I still talk to today.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like to some people from out, like we've gotten people that come strictly for StreetMeetDC from. I got a group come out from Atlanta, I had a group come out from South Carolina, I had some other guy come out from Richmond, had somebody else come out from I want to say Oklahoma, and then somebody else from Tennessee.
Whoa.
then they went back to Tennessee and started their own street meet out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, like, they weren't consistent with it. And that's the hard part. That's the hardest part.
Consistency is so hard for anything in life.
Yeah, it's so hard.
But it pays off the most.
It really does.
Ain't that a bitch, right?
That shit, dude. There are some, like, we just did a month-long street meet in June. And that's the hardest thing we've ever done, or that I've ever done.
What do you mean month-long?
We had a meet every weekend for June.
I don't know why
a regular meet.
I don't know why I was just thinking you did like a camp out, which would be sick. I'm giving
That's another one. That's another one. Yeah, we're working on something like that too.
Sign me up, bro.
We've already got the space for it.
I want to sit around a fire and get fucked up and take photos of getting fucked up.
Do some astrophotography. Just call it astrophotography, but you're just getting fucked up the whole time.
Well, that's cool too. Yeah. What the hell's that sound? I don't know. Yeah, wait. But what were we just saying before that? I fucking forgot.
Oh, consistency.
Yeah,
like how hard it is because. Oh, June. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
We had a meet every weekend for the month, and I've been trying to do this for years and years and years. Like as soon as we started, but I was like, fuck, man, I just don't have the time. I don't have the whatever. I just kept coming up with excuses, and then like now that I got a team like Sway and Aaron. I kept talking about it. It's like, all right, this year I want to do a month-long meet. And I was like, but damn, man, every weekend though, fuck. Like it's gonna take up my whole weekend,
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, no, we gotta fucking do it. Let's just do it. And I just picked June because it's June, and we just did it. And I mean, we cycle, and what I liked about it was that the meets were a little smaller, so I was able to interact with more people.
Yeah.
And people weren't as intimidated as being in a big crowd, and people interacted a little better with each other.
What was so hard about it was the fact that you had to have a new place every time, and
still not
advertise it, and then do everything.
And then on top of that, like we had to make sure that it wasn't something that we weren't going to have to reuse this year, or it's another place that we haven't done the year before,
like
or
another location.
Yeah. That was the hard part, trying to find locations that we thought that people would be receptive to. So we did like a night meet. That was pretty cool. We actually out in Navy Yard. That was super cool.
Is that like one of the biggest challenges? Like, what's like the biggest challenge for like a street meet? Is it that just the organization of it?
It's just finding places that we know that we can create like somewhat of a route that's very photogenic. Like we can't do we did a meet at Tyson's Corner, but we had the blessing of Tyson's Corner Mall to use their space.
Oh, in Tyson's Corner Mall.
Have you been there? The new mall, how it is now? They've got like a little play. I don't want to say like a play area, but like a grassy area.
You're talking about the non-bougie one, right?
The non-bougie one.
Yeah.
The one that's
the one with Urban Outfitters in it.
I'm not
because there's two Tysons. There's one that's all designer.
There's a Galleria, right? There's a Galleria too. That's the one. That's the one with the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, Cheesecake.
Yeah, no, not that one.
Okay,
the other one on the other side.
Yeah, fuck that one.
Yeah, no, fuck that place. The one on the other side.
Yeah.
They've got like a cool little terrace area. I don't know what the fuck it's called. But
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah. So we reached out to them and we asked them like, hey, can we do a meet here? Here's what we do. We're photographers. We can provide you with pictures for your location. Because they don't allow photography on their lands for some stupid reason because it's super cool. Yeah. So we were like, yeah, and they were like, okay, yeah, no, let's do it. And then we did it there, and I kind of forgot where we were talking, where I was going with this. What were you just talking about?
I said, well, what's the difficult part?
Yeah, finding photogenic places. Really, that's really it.
I can see it because it's not just like a public place. It's something a little more special. It means a little more.
Like we're not about to do
experience.
We're not about to do a street meet in Woodbridge. Like what is the fuck is there in Woodbridge?
Old Town Occoquan.
Yeah, but that requires a car to get there.
That is true. Yeah, it's not easy to get to Woodbridge in any shape or form.
Or I mean, maybe next time we'll do one in like Clarendon or something.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 1,000 places. You can go.
But still, like we got to find places that are cool. That people can actually walk around and take pictures. So that's our challenge, is making sure we find those places. And
you kind of mentioned it earlier, but you were saying how it started off as street photography, but now it's become model based. That seems like one of the ways it's kind of changed. Are there a couple other ways that stick out in your mind of how it's kind of evolved over time? Yeah,
I mean, it's evolved like crazy because at first we were struggling. Like, all right, so like after the first year, it started to get. I don't want to say boring, but it started to get a little stagnant. Where it's like, all right, well, we got to figure something else out. Like, let's figure something else out. And then that's when I came up with the idea. I was like, all right, let's get some models. They can just. And again, the idea was so new to us. It was like, oh, let's get some models, and they can just it'll turn into like, you know, we can turn it into like a portrait meetup thing or something like that. And it'll turn into this thing where now we take portraits of people, and people can practice on models. Models can practice with photographers, and it's all free. It's a perfect symbiotic relationship.
Makes sense,
you know. And we reached out to several models, and again, they didn't understand the concept.
It's kind of weird. If you never heard it before, you're like, wait, what? You want me to walk around?
And you guys take pictures of me? That's weird. But aren't and here's my the worst thing that I hate hearing is, well, you guys are just taking pictures of the same thing. No, it's not. Everybody has a different, albeit slightly different, but everybody's perspective is different. Everybody's edit is different. Everybody sees something different. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's for you as a photographer to do something different than the next person. Not that you have to, but you know, if you feel that kind of way, then I don't know what to tell you. You know, like, I can't,
because a photographer may not ever have the balls to ask a model to collab and meet up and take their portraits. They might never have the opportunity.
Because then you might have that situation with what's his name
with Marcus Hyde. well, I wouldn't recommend starting off doing nudes and then asking for sample nudes.
If you have 200 followers and you're a photographer, I want to start off by asking to do a nude shoot.
That's so true, right? Like, you probably need more clout to like ask for nude shoots.
Wait till you hit 1K, and then you can start.
Yeah, I think 1K. Like, you gotta get to at least 1K. Like, if you're 100 asking for collabs, which I was literally that guy at one point. Like, it's hard.
I've been there too, man.
It's hard to get some gigs.
I fucking used to hate reaching out to photographers. And this was before I even started Street Meet. Like, I was really trying to learn. Like, I didn't know the first thing about photography. All I started out was a Canon Rebel T3i.
Nice.
That was my first DSLR camera I ever had.
I had a T5i.
And then I started finding out about lenses.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, well, how wide is a lens? How do I make a wider shot? Oh, it's a crop sensor, so it's not going to be as wide as I want it to be. So and then like that whole whatever, and then like I started seeing like all these photographers taking some dope ass pictures, because again, when you're starting out, you don't know anything. You don't know what makes a good picture a good picture.
You don't know what focal length to use. You don't know anything. You know
nothing.
Your settings.
So I was that guy on Instagram, you know, asking, "Oh, what did you shoot this with?" And they'd always be like, they would either never answer or just like do a laughing emoji and never answer my fucking question. Like some assholes.
You were that guy.
I was that guy.
I was that guy once or twice too. Because you want to know. Like,
I just didn't. And again, because I didn't know anybody doing this shit. Like, you know what I mean? I would look on YouTube videos on, you know, how to do pictures and stuff, but at the same time, it's like it's not the same thing. It's not like
I remember when I first got into photography, I was shooting film, and there were no resources for me.
Right.
I would literally have to shoot and then get it back and see if I fucked up, and I had to remember my settings. Like, I used to remember these things. Like, sometimes I'd write it down. Like, I develop. I go to CVS, get 24-hour developed, get it back, and I'll be like, oh fuck, it came out dark. Okay, well, next time I'm in the shade, I need to make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that learning curve is so slow because you have to wait per develop.
Well, it's slow. It's also fast because, like, I don't want to waste my money again, bro. This is my weed.
Well, yeah, that's true.
This is my Taco Bell and weed money. I got to make sure I'm getting my frames here.
Yeah. No, film is something that's I have a lot of respect for film photographers because that's hard to do. Mm-hmm. Like, I've tried to get into film, but I shot automatic settings, you know, on an old Minolta that I have. And for some reason, the shutter button just feels so heavy every time you take a picture because it's like, all right, that's it.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. On my digital film cameras, I shoot that shit automatic.
Oh, well, do you shoot RAW at least?
No, I said digital film. So digital film. So like my actual digital cameras, I shoot manual. But like
digital film.
But like Canon makes old SLR cameras that are film. Mm-hmm. And so like I like the fact that I can just shoot automatic real quick and have the photo instead of having to sit there and
that makes sense then. That makes sense. I thought you were talking about like digital camera.
Oh, hell no, dog. I wouldn't.
So you better put that motherfucker on M.
Yeah, we need some clarity on that one.
I was about to question you here, man.
Like, I'm doing a podcast with a guy that shoots on auto. God dang.
Auto JPEG? Fuck.
Yeah. You don't shoot JPEG, bro?
I used to shoot JPEG too.
I mean, I think we've all been like a new photographer, and I think that's where something like Street Meet is so essential. I mean, I remember when I first started, Street Meet was that important to me where I was able to take portraits of these like really fresh like rapper dudes, or like take portraits of.
Where else can you find that? Like, you know what I mean?
Like you're not going to DM other dudes when you're just starting out to collab, like, or else you don't even know how.
Because then you're on a one-on-one setting, and then you gotta have the ideas at the ready, and not make it weird, and not make it seem like, okay, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like people want to shit on, everyone takes the same photo, but like it's cool to get that perspective. Like, I never thought of taking that photo from that angle, or like, this. Oh yeah, man,
we see some people with some weird fucking angles, just fucking how they throw their thumbs on the floor, and how do they get their angle and how to get their picture. Like it's wild when you see it behind the scenes, and then you see everybody's picture of the same model at the same instance that everybody else is taking the pictures. To me, it's amazing.
Are you happy with how it's turned into model based, or do you kind of wish sometimes it was still street photography based?
No, I mean I like it. I like that it is model based, but it does seem to be like it is getting a little saturated with models. Whereas like before, like I said,
saturated with models.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say saturated photographers.
No, I mean, that's our whole thing is photographers.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But I mean, you have too many models.
It seems that way. It seems like we have a lot of models that come out now.
It seems like a good problem.
No, it is a good problem to have. It's just like at the same time, I still want to try to dial it back to street photography. That's why I want to maybe at some point in the future, like do maybe 2 meets a month where it's like, okay, no muses this. This is just street photography. Just street photography. We walk around and take pictures.
That makes sense.
The regular meet, okay, floodgates are open. Anybody can come out. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, we're still trying to figure that out. I mean, it's just a lot to figure out because we have to keep constantly like reinvent, or like kind of like innovate, and kind of come up with something new that people are gonna like.
Yeah, well, when you're doing something that no one's done before, there is no map of how do we take this.
Yeah, exactly. That's the hard part because we're the ones who have to do it first. Like if we don't do it, then then the whole meetup culture here kind of dies out. Then it just turns into a regular thing that nobody really wants to go anymore because it's like, oh, this shit is whack. This shit is boring.
Or if it becomes stale and like these guys don't care anymore, you can just like tell. It's like, oh, they just posted today. I've had so many friends who tried starting meetups and they did like 1 month, and then after that it was like, where's the second one? Yeah, where'd it go, dog?
Yep. No, and again, that's key. That shit is that like we could have. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. If it wasn't for that second meetup where I saw like a good amount of people show up, like a good 30 to 25 to 30 people show up, I don't know that I'd be as consistent either.
Interesting.
Just because it'd be like, okay, well, I mean, at first I was like, oh, I don't care if one person shows up. That's a win for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we did the second one. It's like, fuck. Now it's like, god damn it. Now what if the same person shows up?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
It's the same fucking guy, and it's like, fuck, what the fuck am I doing here?
You kind of want that growth a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You know, once you see that growth, then it's like, okay, you gotta sink your teeth in it and fucking go with it. And luckily, we've been blessed with that kind of thing, and thankfully, now we are where we are, and
how many people are at them these days? Like
these days, so we keep track of how many people show up to our meets by name tags. We bring at least 300 name tags to our meets, and we run out of them.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
you got one coming up. Another street meet coming up too. Right?
Saturday the 27th.
This Saturday, right?
This Saturday. Yeah, I guess it's 27th.
Well, this podcast isn't going to be out by then.
No, it's not. But either way, it's going to be at Eastern Market, and that's a pretty cool low key place. And sometimes they have like the vendors there.
Eastern Market. I'm trying to remember what Eastern Market looks like. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's
over
cool.
by what's the name of that? There's a base right there, Navy base or some shit like that.
Yeah, I know there. Yeah, that'll be tight.
Yeah.
If it's Saturday, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna try and come too.
Should.
I'm trying to get those juices flowing, take some photos.
Try to get some news with these models.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get these models naked in public.
That's a whole different level right there, man.
Yeah, you kidding me, dude?
Shoot with the lens cap on.
I like going and just like playing dumb. Like that's the way I go to these things. I don't try to like be like, yeah, I'm a fashion photographer. I got 2K followers. I'm like, I just go. I'm like, oh yeah, what's up, guys? What's up? And if they want to follow, it's cool to get all the Instagram followers and shit. Like that is a nice perk of going. You kind of get your clout up and you get to network and stuff.
And again, that's part of the whole thing. And on top of that too, I guess I want to say it now that I can. If you're still listening right now, please don't be that asshole that follows somebody. That follows your account from somebody else's phone and then say, "Oh, my phone's dead," and then you can't follow them back. You know what I mean? Have you ever had that before, where like they'd be like, "Oh, what's your Instagram?" And then they're like, oh, my phone's dead. Just look me up real quick. I'll follow you back when my phone's dead. And then like you see them later with their phone on and shit.
I never pay attention to it.
And they never follow you back.
But I'm sure it's happened to me where they search on my phone, then they hit follow.
Yeah.
And then they
never follow you back.
Yeah, they never follow me back. I'm like, God damn it! You need to ask me. You need to ask me before you hit that follow button.
This whole thing works if we follow each other. You fucking idiots. That's how this whole thing works. Is if we follow each other,
dude. There was a point in time where I had that app that you could see who unfollows you.
Oh, I've had it too.
It was so toxic. I'm so glad I got rid of it. I am so glad I got rid of it.
There was a time, man, I was so addicted to Instagram. I was like on it, and I was liking pictures just for the hell of it, just because I wanted to seem relevant and commenting like just random stupid shit just to have somebody notice my name on somebody's comment thread or whatever. It's bad.
Well, like there's difference between spending 30 minutes bullshitting on Instagram and just scrolling and shit, then spending 30 minutes and being like tactical and being like, okay, I'm gonna leave comments on some stuff relative to mine, try and get some engagement here, try and get some follows. Like if that's your goal, that makes more sense. Or I'm gonna DM some brands, or I'm gonna post on my story. Like I'm getting into this mindset where I'm like, Instagram is just a tool.
It is.
We shouldn't be scrolling all day and wasting our time. Use it, make it work for you, use it to connect, but like that's it.
Yeah, that's really it. And people don't get that. Like and people are so quick to look for the follow count, try to get that follower count up. Where now it's like it's whatever to me. Like I said, at first I was really doing pictures strictly for Instagram. There was nothing that I was doing outside of it. Like with my photography, I wasn't doing anything outside of Instagram. And I kind of hit this point where I was like, why the fuck am I really taking pictures for?
That's the interesting point is like, do you find yourself shooting just for the gram?
Because there's a shit ton of famous photographers that have an Instagram just to have an Instagram, and they only have like 500 followers, but they're like super professional and they're like really legit photogrophers making a shit ton of money.
Oh, shit, it's raining outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're 100% right. Like,
you know what I mean?
Like 500 followers, but they're shooting for Vogue, shooting for Elle.
Exactly.
Like
they just have one just to have one, but it's not their life because their life is real photography.
Yeah, they're popping in real life.
Right, exactly.
Like, they're not like, and that's the interesting conundrum that I've gotten caught up before is like, wait a minute, I'm just shooting for Instagram. Like, what's my goal?
Exactly.
What's my goal? And
exactly.
I guess it'd be like, I'm learning or I'm doing this, but when you're just shooting like, I need content because I need content. So
then if you don't hit a certain like number on your picture after like 20 minutes, then you're like, fuck, this picture didn't take off. And you kind of get down a little bit because like, fuck, man, this picture's going to get like 30 likes and that's it.
I know. And then you're like, I really liked it too. Like, but it's just it's different. Your audience wasn't used to it. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
So when they get rid of that goddamn like count, it's so much better.
I personally hate Instagram, but it's our bread and butter right now.
Hate, right?
Yeah. It's because, I mean, if it wasn't for StreetMeetDC, I wouldn't really be on it anymore. But StreetMeetDC is our main, I guess, megaphone right now is through Instagram. You know,
new goal: be popping not on Instagram.
Exactly,
be popping in real life.
Yeah, and IRL. So yeah, I mean that's kind of something that we're trying to. That's something in the works too that we're trying to do, like website based subscription kind of thing,
like email lists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense because that's essentially how brands develop and move forward. Is not only can you flex your social, you can flex your email list, or you can flex how other way you like retain people in your circle. Or like, yeah, I mean, from my perspective, from on the outside, it's like I see it as like a great brand with so much limitless potential. Like the fact that it's all over America, like that's pretty insane.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me. Like it's serious. I still can't believe it. Like how this idea has really taken off. And like, sure, there's Meetup.com, but I've been to several of the Meetup.com meets, and it's just a bunch of older, like middle-aged dudes that have like fucking, like I said, I cannot stand egos. They have like this ego where they don't want to teach you anything because they're protecting their bread and butter or whatever the fuck they've got. And I'm just there. I'm just trying to learn. Like I'm just here to hang out and learn. But there's no like, there's nothing like that through like the Meetup.com things that I've been to. And I was like,
I agree with you on that. Like you feel like awkward asking them a question. Like you get that vibe.
Because you feel they'll treat you like you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And they'll talk to you like, what? You don't know how to do this? You don't know how to do this on Final Cut? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
You don't know how to use a strobe light? What are you doing? Like you don't know how to use off-camera flash?
Yeah. Like, okay, no, I don't. That's the whole point. That's why I'm talking to you, you fucker.
It's so intimidating too. Like you're like, oh wait, I have to get a receiver, like a remote, and then I get.
Oh yeah, see, and once you go down that spiral, you'll never have anything good enough. You know what I mean? Whereas sometimes you can make do with the cheapest of things and still create. Like I saw this one picture. I don't know if you saw it. How this guy took a picture on a Polaroid of Beyonce, and it turned out to be one of the better pictures of any other paparazzis. And it was like a little disposable camera.
Okay.
And it turned out to be better than like a lot of the paparazzi pictures with, you know, obviously the full frame cameras and everything like that.
Film baby.
So, yeah. So like to me, like that whole thing, like you gotta have the best thing, you gotta have this and that to do this and that. It doesn't. If you make it work how you can, then make it work how you can. You know, fuck it.
I agree with that. Like, be savvy, be a hustler.
Right.
Like, use what you got.
You'll find a way to get the look that you want with the materials that you have. Whether or not you feel confident in doing that, that's up to you. That's on you. But if you feel like you don't, and you feel like you need that next best thing, then you'll never get better. I mean, you'll get better in, like, I guess, quality, I guess, but it's not like your eye is going to get any better because you're not forced to really do anything different other than...
I think people get confused about photography. Like, I've recently had a new idea because sometimes I'll find myself, like, not shooting for a week.
I haven't shot. Well, no, I take that back. I've been going straight to video these days.
Right. But like, and it's making me feel weird. Like, I feel incomplete sometimes. I'm like, I'm not doing my art every day. I'm like, why am I not doing this? And I'm like... You have all these expectations on yourself, like, oh, it needs to have a stylist and a makeup and everything. right. And before it was just like, let's just collab, let's just meet up, you style it, and we'll do that. And I do like 3 shoots on a weekend, and like I miss grinding so hard to do shoots, and like it makes me just want to like express that more. But like what I'm trying to say is like photography is still like shots in the gym. Like you still have to practice.
Yeah, it's a muscle, and then you got, you know, once you let it go, it starts to atrophy a little bit. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I just haven't really been taking a lot of pictures, and like I kind of committed what I call like Instagram suicide. Uh-oh. Like I deleted all my shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah, you did.
I deleted all my shit. Uh-oh. And because at the time, again, because I was Instagram clout chasing at the time, they and I wanted to get featured on the Instagram page because that was like the thing that you had to get. You had to get featured on some page or something, and that's why you use all the fucking obnoxious hashtags.
Like the portrait repost. Like everyone wanted that shit.
Yep. Or like Heater Central and all those stupid ass
whatever repost page it is.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But Instagram was like the one. You know,
if you repost on Instagram, that's tight.
Yeah. So in order to do that, sometimes you have to follow along with their weekend hashtag projects. The hashtag WHP, whatever, whatever weekend it was, whatever. Each one was different. Mm-hmm. So they had one where they called, I forgot what it's called, like storytelling or something or other. And at the time, I was going to a lot of bandos. I was like going to a bunch of abandoned places. I got like a whole portfolio of like abandoned buildings that I've been in. Mm-hmm. And I started like thinking like, okay, what can I do with this fucking hashtag? All right. You know what? I'm going to tell like a futuristic story, a dystopian story, and use my pictures of bandos as a way to tell the story.
Okay.
And then I really liked where I was going with it.
Yeah.
So then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Again, because I just wanted to have something different on my Instagram because I wanted to get more popular. I started this whole dystopian story on my Instagram through all my bando pictures. It was like Blade Runner-esque, you know, like it was, you know, whatever. But after that, my engagement just fell off completely.
After that whole like novel you kind of wrote for you?
Yeah.
But at the same time,
but it's what I wanted to do. Like that's exactly what I wanted to do, and it fell off. I was like, God damn! I felt some kind of way, but at the same time, I kind of doubled down on it. I was like, all right, fuck you guys. I'm just gonna keep doing this no matter what because I like doing this, and it kind of sparked something in me. I was like, you know what, man, fuck Instagram.
But that's the right mindset. Is like doing things because you want to do them, not doing them because you know that bokeh fairy lights with a girl wearing glasses and a ponytail, Brandon Wolfel, you know.
No, you gotta get the lights going towards her and her hand out like this, and some shiny sunglasses or some shit
at sunset.
Yeah.
Like doing that because you know it gets likes, or using smoke. Oh man,
bombs. You can see all the trends. Not gonna lie, we sometimes fall on the smoke bomb trend because it's not popular out here. Not many people do it out here.
Really?
Not to my knowledge. I know, like if you go to LA, those guys out there, they're fucking crazy out there.
It's one thing to shit on it. Like it's fun to shit on it, but whatever. If someone wants to do it, go do it. Please do it. But at the same time, it just looks a lot of times like you're just chasing,
it's overplayed.
Like you're chasing likes. And I think that's the sad part when it's like you're shooting for Instagram for what? for what? At the end of the day, if you're resilient and you shoot for yourself, like that cool abando story that you put behind it, people get behind that and they like that and they sort of like, and it happens to do well on Instagram. Like it happens to perform well.
Yeah.
Little hacks like that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was fun. I liked because I've never really thought about screenwriting up until I started doing that. Because after that, I was like, all right, you know what? I do video too. Why don't I try to do like a short film on this? And I got like a little screenplay kind of that I got going on with that. Yeah. I haven't done anything with it yet, but that's something that that I want to do at some point in my life, is do like a little short story or like something like that, like a little 5-minute short or something with like some dystopian like ragtag soldier fucking bullshit,
You should. If you're into it, then you'd like.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing.
If it piques your interest, do it. You should never go, oh, I probably wouldn't get that much likes.
Right.
That's where it gets sad. Or like you really
that's the hard part.
Or you really want to shoot nude photography, but you don't because you can't show nipples.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but nude photography for me is a
or nude photography in bandos.
In bandos. That's a thing.
That is the huge thing.
That's a thing. Like, or ballet dancers in a bando or something like that.
If you live in Richmond, it's a big thing. Yeah, Amir's over here laughing because he knows he's seen it 1,000 times.
Yep.
How many times have you seen a very skinny girl all naked with her hair in front of her face, like curled up in a bando?
I've seen one with tattoos. Have you seen that one with tattoos? She's got like some cool tattoos on her.
There's probably 1,000 photos like that, dude.
And again, it's not knocking anybody's hustle, not knocking anybody's photography, because at the end of the day, if that's what you want to do, then do it. Who gives a fuck?
Exactly. If that's what you want to do, then do it. And that's my.
I'm just speaking of my opinion, my personal opinion. That's it. Some people make money off of Instagram. Like the influencers and shit. They make money off this shit. That's like their borderline like LinkedIn. A lot
of people make money off Instagram. Yeah.
So that's why, I can't really knock on it too much because, it's just not for me. Not anymore.
My biggest shift in Instagram came when I decided to become full-time. Mm-hmm. And even then I was still shooting for Instagram, but then I realized like, wait a minute, who do I want to shoot for?
Right.
And I was like, I need to start tailoring my content to get the clients I want.
Right. Exactly.
That's why I feel like in my content, it's all women's wear and dresses. Like, because I want to shoot for companies and brands like that. Like if you look at my feed, it's kind of all over the place until like the past few months. And you're like, oh, it's all women's wearing dresses. Like, I think he's actually trying to get some clients in this field now.
And then now you can actually say.
And that was the switch. It's like, what am I shooting for? Like, what am I trying? Who am I trying to attract? You know?
That's when you realize how much of a tool Instagram can be.
Exactly.
Because it's technically a portfolio that you can show anybody.
But it's also how we interact.
Right.
It's also our business DMs. Yeah. It's also how we can get laid. It's also it's also how you flex and show your story.
Right.
Anyways, man. So what's coming up with Street Meet? What's coming up with Street Meet that people know about?
Shit. Well, September last September we held our first gallery. We were lucky enough to find this lot in Rhode Island, out northeast, and we had a huge turnout. We put up 42 pictures, and like the lot is huge. So what we did was, when Sway and Aaron showed me the property, I was like, okay, this is a huge fucking property. How the fuck are we gonna fill this whole thing up? Like it can't just be just a gallery because it's not.
You need other things to do.
Yeah. So that's when I came up with the idea. Like, all right, I'm gonna get some pallets, stack them on top of each other, and create backdrops that people can use while they're there, and it'll still have the feeling of a street meet because people can still do and create,
but also an exhibition.
And then we also had a food truck there, Roro.
Of course I know Roro. Yeah. He's in my podcast.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Mm-hmm. He's cool as shit.
Vegan bodybuilder who just got engaged.
Yeah. So he catered not catered, but he pulled up with his truck there, and he made pretty good money that day, thankfully. We had John, Don John's and everything like that too, or like the porta potties.
Like a whole
it was a whole
experience.
It was a whole event, man, dude. It was stressful.
How did I miss this? Jesus, I missed out on the clout. Jesus,
it was super stressful, man, because we only had the day of to set up.
Oh my god,
I know, and I was like, fuck. If we just had the day before, we would be okay. But man, we had to wake up at 4 a.m. to get everything loaded up in the U-Haul, and it was crazy. I mean, it was a lot of fun though. Not gonna lie. I mean, towards the end, I was like, "Fuck, holy shit, we pulled it off.
Isn't that the best feeling?
Yeah, that's
Like,
the best fucking
we
feeling.
pulled this off.
Because that's the most intensive thing we've ever done. Like outside of like just hosting a meet. Like hosting a meet I don't want to say it's easy, but
it works.
Right. I know what to do. But this was something brand new to us.
Yeah.
Like this is something that was totally brand new. We didn't know what we were doing. You know, I've only been to a handful of galleries myself, and I just don't like the atmosphere in a lot of these because a lot of those are just like circle jerks. They're just fucking there to make you seem like you're important or whatever, and they're not there to
You kind of want more to it,
right? You know, like people aren't. I don't know. It doesn't seem genuine to me a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Like the interactions that you have with people. But with this one, like people were there to create just like the same environment that we do every month, but we did it on a bigger scale and with like, you know, some actual money thrown behind it, you know.
Sounds sick. So are you guys going to do something like that again?
Yes, we are. I can't give out full details yet, but September we are working on something.
Nice. Yeah, just again, little sneak peeks.
Yeah. So stay tuned
right
for that.
Around the corner. I'm excited.
Yeah, I know. But it's gonna be. I don't want to say it's gonna be on a smaller scale, but it's gonna be on a different scale. It's gonna be something different than what we did last year.
Yeah, refine it.
Yeah, which is something that we want to do. It's like every time we do so we want to do these yearly, like or once we get good enough with it, we want to do them bi-yearly or biannually. But we want to do something different each time. A new. I don't like new theme or new whatever. Something just new each time.
Oh yeah.
And this time it's going to be like an indoor location that we're hoping to lock down here soon.
Oh, I'm gonna keep talking. Spill some more beans.
Nah, man, I can't. I know Sway's going to be like, "Oh, don't say it." Yeah, but
it's okay. People forget by the time they hear this podcast, and by the time that actually happens, they'll be like, "What?"
But yeah, that's one of the biggest things that we're going to be working on. And then next year we're going to do something on a way grander scale that it's going to be like, I don't know what it's going to be competing with, but it's going to be competing with a lot of big events, yearly events.
Can I get any idea on that?
It's going to be outdoors, and it's going to be on a several acres.
Whoa.
That's about the best I could put it.
Is it going to be a street meet shroom trip?
No, I wish, man. I wish. I still have yet to fucking do shrooms. So maybe that'll be the time.
Well, September is the time. No, actually, it's August.
Nah, I'm gonna be busy as hell, man.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say
I gotta be productive.
Nah, I'm just messing around. I'm like, we're in the field of art. Let me do shrooms. But no, that's cool, man. But anyways, if people want to follow Street Meet or follow you, where should they go to follow Street Meet, and then where should they go to follow you?
So yeah, you can find us on Instagram at StreetMeetDC.com. Or you can go StreetMeetDC. No, okay. Find us on Instagram at StreetMeetDC. You can check us out on StreetMeetDC.com. And you know, sign up for our subscriber list. You know, we always put out discounts for merch and you know, shout outs or the schedules for the next few months for our meets or whatever. In case sometimes we don't even post it on our Instagram anymore, just because you know Instagram's a dying. I don't want to say it's dying, but.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, now after they get rid of the likes, who knows? It could go either way.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I don't think they would do something if they didn't know it was going to work. I feel like they're too methodical for that shit.
Yeah, you can find me at Pierre_Funes on Instagram, or you can go to pierrefunes.com, FUNEZ or NES. N as in Nancy, ES as in Stanley. Awesome. In case it wasn't clear.
Awesome. Well, heck yeah, dude. I'll be sure to link to it in the YouTube description. Yeah. And if you're listening, I'm sure it won't be that hard to find. And also, I'm sure you could probably find if there's one in your area on the website or on the website maybe. Like
I'm sure if you go on Instagram, just type in Street Meet. Yeah. You'll find there's a whole list of cities on there now.
That's wicked, man. That's wicked.
Yeah. But we're working on kind of reining it all together and making it all pretty uniform. And that's another big thing that we're trying to do this year is kind of figure out how to
unite
bring
it, right?
Yeah,
like
how
under
to make
one
it
umbrella.
all under one umbrella and everything like that. And with any luck, it'll turn out to be this national network of people, of creatives that. Dude, you know.
I'm excited. I
am too. Shit,
I can't wait for these events. I can't wait to see what it's going to turn into. It's going to be nuts, dude. It's like it's only up from here, man.
Seriously.
Well, hell yeah, man. Well, thank you for coming on the show, my man.
Oh, we're that's it, man? It's only been like, what, 30 minutes?
Nah, dude, we've been here for an hour and a half.
Oh, shit. Damn. That was quick.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of on a time crunch, too.
Are you?
I could keep going, but I won tickets to a soccer game at DC United.
Okay.
And so I got to like try and get there at a reasonable time.
You good, man.
Yeah. But anyways, man.
Well, bring me back on here. I want to come back on here. And maybe I'll, maybe get you drunk again or something.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'm going to figure out how to get more mics. We're going to get more people on here.
We can bring, we got mics too.
We're just going to talk shit.
In case it wasn't clear, we have our own podcast too. So we got mics.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Drink Meat Podcast.
Oh, yeah. Check out Drink Me Podcast. It's hella tight. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's the angle.
That's the angle, right?
Peace.
All right. See ya.